This is just an update to the ongoing investigation into the incident on Central Avenue last evening, the shooting and stabbing. At approximately 2:25 p.m. today, we conducted a vehicle stop related to this investigation at the Valu Center Plaza at 4152 West Main Street. A female subject there was detained and transported to police headquarters for questioning. She was identified as Jennifer K. Urvizu-Hanlon, age 48, of the Town of Batavia. She was later charged with criminal liability for conduct of another, criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, as she's alleged to have provided the firearm that was used in the shooting last night. At about 3:30 p.m., we conducted a search warrant of her residence on West Main Street Road based on information developed during the investigation. During the search, 2 male subjects were located inside the residence. They were detained and transported to police headquarters for further questioning. As a result of that, one subject, identified as Samuel Blackshear, age 17, of no permanent address in the city, was identified as the person who shot Nathaniel D. Wilson, Jr., and he has been charged with attempted murder in the second degree, attempted assault in the first degree, assault in the second degree, and criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, 2 counts. Both Blackshear and Urvizu-Hanlon have been arraigned in city court, and they're committed to jail without bail. A second search warrant was served on the business of La Mexicana, Inc. at 4152 West Main Street, as this is property that's controlled by Jennifer and operated by her. Evidence was recovered related to the investigation at one of the search warrant sites.
Was the weapon recovered?
I can't speak to that at this time. Evidence was recovered.
You mentioned 2 male subjects at the house on West Main. What's the status of the other male subject?
He was released.
Okay.
No charges.
And no, at this point, no belief that he was involved?
There's no belief that he was involved, a potential witness, but he was not. He's not being charged.
And are there any other possible subjects still at large? As your investigation uncovered that there were other individuals involved that you would like to detain or talk to? Or?
Well, the investigation is still ongoing, so any information we received would be used to go down that path. The video evidence that we received and that we viewed was pretty clear. We do not believe that there's any outstanding suspects in this case. However, there were multiple witnesses that were at the scene that we would like to speak to, some of who have been identified, some who have not.
The woman that's been charged, she was not at the scene?
She was at the scene.
She was, okay.
Yes.
What is the relationship between her and the male?
I do not know that. I do not know the relationship.
Did he live there where she lived?
He has no permanent address. It sounds like he stays around wherever he can get a place to sleep, so I don't know for sure if he's been living there or this was just a place that he was crashing.
Are you able to say what her activities at the scene were?
Her activities at the scene is she provided the weapon that was used in the shooting.
So that physical transfer was captured on your video?
I can't disclose that information, as that's probably going to be part of the legal process.
Okay.
And was this video that you obtained, was it from your cameras or somebody else in the neighborhood?
We obtained video from our street surveillance camera, as well as at least one video from an eyewitness in the area that came forward and shared that with us. We would certainly like to see any more video if it's out there. If anybody has any other home surveillance systems or did record any or a portion or of all of the events last night, we'd certainly like to see that.
So you've probably had an opportunity to review now this, you and your investigators review these videos multiple times. Is there any kind of narrative of what happened that you've been able to develop based on what you know and what you see? How did this all come about? What were precursors? I mean, kind of what happened?
We're still investigating as to what was the motive leading up to it. There was a large disturbance that took place down there. There was a fight between several individuals, the deceased, the suspect that was arrested for that crime, as well as the suspect that was arrested for the shooting. There was other individuals involved in punching and kicking and that sort of thing. But it looks like there was a large fight. And again, we've been down there multiple times over the last several weeks dealing with disturbances, as you guys have reported on, large disturbances in the area. Some of this is related to that potentially, although I can't say for sure that they're all related. You know, the individuals that we're talking about were individuals that some of them have been identified in those earlier disturbances.
Are you suggesting there's perhaps multiple threads of conflicts that weave in and out, not necessarily interconnected? You know, I mean, that there's been several conflicts,
Yeah.
some of them related to others, but they're not all related to each other.
Again, we're trying to straighten all that out. We don't know for sure exactly what what ignited this particular incident. Hopefully we'll discover that as our investigation proceeds.
Do you expect additional charges against the people that have been arrested?
That will be up to the grand jury at this point. The district attorney's office preferred these charges at this point. If they want us to lodge any additional charges, they'll have to give us some direction.
What is your message to the city about safety on this street? And we've had the other one wasn't in the city, but we've had 2 murders in 6 weeks in a short period of time, and people are out there saying that there's problems that aren't being addressed. What's your message?
Well, I certainly can't deny that there's problem areas. That is something that we have been anxiously working on to try to solve the issues in that particular neighborhood. When it came to our attention that there was several instances of disturbances down there, we took measures to increase the lighting in that area. We took measures to put up that street camera down there, which was essential in capturing the evidence that led us to the conclusions here. So, we did as much as we possibly could. Proactive wise, we increased our patrols down there. What we would like to see is more community interaction. If you see something, you need to give us a call. Don't be afraid to take back your neighborhood, so to speak. That's what we need. We need people to be proactive. We need neighbors to take care of neighbors and not hide from things like this. We will do whatever we can to protect you, but come forward. Otherwise, we can't charge these folks and get them out of your neighborhood.
So one last question for me that I can think of is, so here we are probably, less than 20 hours since these events, and you've already got 3 suspects in custody. Just talk about the work of your team. And
I tell you, the investigators that worked this did a phenomenal job. They worked long hours to make this happen. We had assistance from Genesee County Sheriff's Department. We leaned on their investigators pretty heavy. The deputies that were out there last night helped us. New York State Police helped us immensely. These searches today were conducted in conjunction with the Orleans County SWAT team as well, our SWAT team and Genesee County's K-9 unit. So, we had a lot of cooperation. I can't speak highly enough about the cooperation in this county. Anytime you need something, you give the sheriff or somebody else a call, and they're going to send some people your way. But again, our guys did phenomenal police work. We had a lot of evidence to go through. They had a lot of witnesses to talk to, and it's still not done. But I'll tell you, they did a tremendous job overnight in taking care of all of the issues that were at hand and handling the other calls for service.
So do you think this might calm the neighborhood down a bit? This case seems like they just have rushed to a head, and then this is what happened. Do you think this, are you doing anything different? I mean, you're already doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do anything different after this incident in that neighborhood?
No, I don't have any plans to do anything different. I did reach out to the council person in charge of that ward to see if we can put together a community meeting and try and get some of the landlords and the people that own homes in that area to come together and see if we can't come up with some different ideas, put our heads together, and just see what we can do to flush some of the people out of there that are making problems. As far as our police presence goes, we've increased it. We're going to do everything we can to make sure that we're available and we're responsive to the needs of the citizens when they call 911.
I'm struck by the fact that all 4 people involved, none of them are Central Avenue or Pringle or Highland residents.
I'm struck by that too.
Yeah, what brought them all together there for this large disturbance?
Again, we're looking into what the motive was. Obviously, there was some back and forth at some point in time between all the parties involved. I couldn't tell you what the motive is.
That seems to be a common theme. I would have to go back and research it, but it just seems to be a common theme of these incidents. They're involving people who aren't immediately residents of the area where they're happening.
Yeah. Yep, I would agree with that.
Addressed?
Well, again, I think that can be addressed at the neighborhood level by making sure that the people that they're visiting are not living in that neighborhood. If they're living somewhere else, they're obviously not living in your backyard. Yeah, I think it really has to be a grassroots effort. The police can't be everywhere all the time, and although we have a great surveillance camera that is out there right now that helped us solve this crime, it can only do that. It can only help solve the crime. Our hopes is it prevents something because somebody doesn't want to be under that watchful eye, and I'm assuming that it has over the years that we've had it. But you know, it really has to be the neighborhood taking the neighborhood back and saying enough is enough. We're going to call and report everything that we see, and we're going to sign paperwork if, you know, if we see something that bad.